Yeah, welcome to the last session of the workshop. So we'll continue reading these rationals about sex. Then we'll continue the conversation.
Shall I start?
Yes, please.
Sex rationals. Sexual capability is one of the three primary capabilities: repair, reproduce, and respond of an organism. For Homo sapiens, sex is a combination of physical and mental growth apart from the procreative experience. Sexual intimacy without cognitive connection is an enervating act. Rational sex is a sign of intimate love.
So unless we experience growth, it is not love. So love with agenda, many a times we may find some or other agenda which are very superficial and cannot contribute to the growth. So this could be a deeper topic, and I invite all the participants, those who are not part of the inquiry group, they can join the inquiry group, where we delve deeper in many aspects of the things rationally and inquire together to find out. So what do we mean by growth, Shilpi, is that deepening of the inquiry primarily. In relationship, if we are not able to deepen our inquiry, then it's not a flaw in others, it's a flaw in myself of lack of inquiry that we need to identify. So relationship, if we are not, for example, the sex is primarily, we consider that sex as an act, but sex is a sense. Overall sense of sex needs to be identified, where the cognitive element is very much important in a sexual relationship. If sex is limited to just physical pleasure, then it is a shallow stimulation. It doesn't add to any growth in life. It's just for the pleasure. So pleasure, as we understood at the deeper level, that it is an indication. It is an indicator of homeostasis. It is not the purpose or the goal of life. It cannot be the goal of life. It's just an indicator. Yes, please, Binal, if you can continue.
A procreative journey becomes more meaningful with the intimacy between parents.
So this is to address the question that even after the procreation, should we continue the act of sex or not? So act of sex is a sign of love. Sign of love, and only act of sex is a perversion. So when we talk about love, love will have both the elements, the physical element and the cognitive element. Love between the partners we're talking about. So here the cognitive element has to be there for the sustenance of the love. Now, in case of procreation, after we procreate, then it becomes our priority of life to continue that procreation, journey of procreation with the partner. And that is supported by the sense of security of the child. Till the time the child develops the cognitive capability, he or she seeks for security. Unless he feels secure, the procreation is not optimum for that child. The growth is not optimum for that child. So as responsible parents, we need to take care of this security without faking, because the child will identify the faking of the love between the parents. And the security means the love between the parents is the ultimate secured space for the child. When the child experiences love between the parents, then, and parents are two pillars for the child. When he identifies the love, the genuine love in between my parents, then I'm absolutely secure. And then the growth actually is a natural growth that we experience. So here we need to identify that it's not a crime to have sex after the procreation is done. This is a sign of love. If it emerges, let it emerge. Yeah, please continue.
Enjoying pornography and or masturbation are examples of emotions driven by ideas. leading to over-engagement of vitality and vicious cycles of either-driven emotions.
Yeah, so this is pornography and the masturbation are nothing but examples of these traps. Examples of these traps. Am I there? Okay, right. So I thought I lost my screen somehow. Am I audible and visible? Right, thank you. So the pornography and masturbation is nothing but this trap. From the idea, we create the sensation and we lead into addiction. I have a lot of cases of addiction of masturbation. To identify this irrationality, they are working together. So this is one prominent example for the youngsters. This is a high time to identify the rationals of sex, so that we can enjoy the sex without the celibatic choices, but we can avoid the stimulation and exaggeration of sex and conserve a lot of vitality. So yeah, so over to you. Any question?
Sir, I want to
Yes,
know
ma'am.
what is the meaning of what do you mean by rational sex in this context? And secondly, how is sexual intimacy without cognitive connection an enervating act? Because
Yes.
enervation is related with the
Yes.
vitality. How is it related to vitality? Overuse, underuse, and all
Right.
those kind of toxemias.
Right. So any action that we choose to do in life, if it doesn't have any connection with the growth, if it doesn't have any connection with the growth, then it is an unnatural act, because every act of us lead to the growth of the organism. Now, so what is the proposal is the love between the partners and sex between the partners is rational when we see growth in that particular relationship. And what is that growth? The growth is not merely a pleasure of few minutes. It's a growth of continuation of the relationship and exploring the life together. That actually leads to the growth, the cognitive growth. If there is no connection of cognitive growth, then it is a shallow choice of just for pleasure, not for the growth of life. So if there is a connection with the growth of life, then it is a natural sex and rational sex. And now see, here we must understand the act of sex. Yeah, can we mute for some time? Yeah, there's a maybe air noise. So if we look at the other organisms, the sex happens for them as an emergence. When there is a real physical intimacy, then the sex happens. Now the casual sexual encounters, now this is very important, casual sexual encounters where there is just sexual encounters, act of sex. This particular act of sex starts way before the actual act of sex, because there is a lot of planning for the act of sex goes on for any kind of casual encounter. So the sex starts in the mind first. Sex starts as an idea in the mind first, then the sensation starts and the depletion and that loop happens. It is an ideated execution that we lead to. Are we able to identify? And
yes, sir.
In case of rational sex, how the sex will happen? It will be an emergence because of the physical proximity. So physical proximity was agendaless, was not having a goal of act of sex, but due to the physical proximity, the act of sex emerges. That is what is the rational sex. When it starts from the physical proximity, it doesn't start from the idea of sex.
Okay.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Right. Any other question?
Also, can we say that it starts from the cognitive cognitive mirroring.
Starts from cognitive mirroring. The sex is a physical act. It cannot
But
start with the cognitive.
and,
What kind of cognitive mirroring you are talking about?
the red love.
It's not cognitive mirroring. It's a physical proximity and then emergence of act of sex. But what exactly?
But
cognitive
physical
mirroring?
proximity.
Yeah, physical proximity.
Yeah. Also, like a connection at a emotional level is what I meant.
Yeah, emotional level is there, and then we are in proximity of physical. Yes. Now I understand what you are. So the
Yes.
physical proximity is not the only criteria, but the cognitive connection. That's what you mean?
Yes.
Yes. Obviously. Other than that, the physical proximity. So it's not just only physical proximity for Homo sapiens. The cognitive connection and physical proximity lead to the emergence of sex, act of sex. Thanks for this correction. Yeah.
So rational sex here, if I go back to those slides, could be CP1. Having sex with CP1 is a rational one because
if I connect cognitively.
If I connect cognitively and you are physically living together.
Yes.
And what about the sex having with CP2? Is that a rational one?
Mostly it is not. Not because I'm again, like, see, we need to go case to case basis to explore whether the deeper cognitive connection is there or not. There could be some cognitive connection with CP2 as well, but there the individual is depleting. So here we are not bringing any ethics here or proposing any ethics. We are just identifying the depletion of vitality. That's it. So with CP2, there could be some cognitive connection. We cannot be sure about it, but depletion is definitely there because you are maintaining two lives and two connections and depleting. Yeah, there's a possibility of depletion.
What if the cognitive connection is lacking, and as you said, then the thing to explore is that there is a that I myself am lacking it. It's not that the
I'm
other
not able
person
to
is
identify.
lacking it.
I'm not able to identify. This is the first identification, that at this state I'm not able to identify. So I have to work and identify that which element is lacking in this relationship from my side.
Okay. And if the person then there are cases where you come to know that there is, as we were just saying, that there is a cognitive connection in CP2 which is being found. So so even then the fact that I'm just trying to reason this out, that how is that one innovating, because we are not looking for the cognitive connection in the CP1. We are already depleted, are we?
So am I cheating CP1? Am I cheating CP1? Am I explicit about the relationship with CP2? These all questions need to be answered.
Yes.
If there is a sense of cheating, then it's a bigger vicious cycle that I'm leading to. Even in that small case of the putting a mask without the intention of cheating the shopkeeper. So this cheating someone intentionally is one of the biggest idea affecting our sensation. One of the biggest ideas. Yeah.
Fine.
So cheating is an idea, is it?
Yes. It has an objective, right? It has an objective created. So it is an idea. It has an objective which is being termed within as success. That I have this objective to achieve by cheating, through cheating. So it's an idea affecting and being converted into belief.
So in that case, if cheating is an idea, the partner will not really mind even if CP1 is being cheated. And and There is a
No,
physical
here the
connection
partner,
with
we're
CP2.
not talking about the partner. Whether I am innervating myself in this process or not, that's the question. As an individual,
as
the
an
depletion,
individual.
depletion, we were asking about the depletion, right? That where the depletion happens if I'm cognitively connected with CP2.
Yes.
Depletion happens in this process of cheating a lot.
But if cheating is an idea, then it should not happen, right?
So cheating is an idea which becomes a belief within that this way of life will be leading me to the homeostasis and the growth in the life. This confusion, this whole confusion. Cheating, what is the objective of cheating anyone? There has to be some objective sketched, right? Without that objective sketched, one will not lie, right? Are you able to connect this? Lying will have a consideration established prior that for this purpose I am lying. When we do lie that way, then that objective is an idea which has been converted into belief within me, and that is depleted. So with this topic, the point actually, I would like to bring these slides. That see, if the beliefs and disbelief both, disbelief is also a form of belief. Appreciation and hatred, or excitement or depression, these all are those loops which actually engages our energy. And when the energy is engaged, that time our inquisition, observation and conservation goes for a toss. That gets smaller. You see the fonts of belief, disbeliefs are bigger, and this channel is blocking the flow of inquisition and observation and hampering our awareness, natural movement and freedom. The natural movement happens when we can relieve ourselves from these beliefs, disbelief, appreciation, hatred. Then lot of energy is uncaged and an ample of energy comes in between suddenly. When the beliefs, disbeliefs, appreciation, hatred, depression, excitement all gets dissolved, then there is a lot of energy in the path. And that energy will bring the natural movement. Because of the inquisition will be restarted, observation will be keen, and conservation will be optimum. Then the awareness, natural movement, and the freedom is achieved. So this we need to understand that we are caged with the beliefs, lot of conditioning, which are actually zapping our vitality and blocking the natural movement. And the cure, if we talk about nature cure is a byproduct of natural movement. When that unblocking happens, the cure happens automatically. The reversal happens by default. So 7 proposals. This is a conclusion of today's topic. Sensations are indicators, not the goal. This identification. So what we need to do to get rid of these considerations of sensation becoming the goal, we need to go slow and inquire the source of the sensation and dissolve the stimulation and suppression. Because any artificial instigation of the sensation through some ideated matter or idea is nothing but stimulation. And that stimulation has to be observed for its dissolution. Inquiry means no influence of any individual, that such and such person has told this, that is why I am doing this. This doesn't work in the path of inquiry. In such and such script, it is mentioned, that is why I am doing it. This also doesn't work in inquiry. Also, statistical data or case studies also doesn't work in inquiry. Inquiry means absolutely no influence, only fact identification and processing within, inward. Causal inquiry, understanding of disease is more important than the discomforts during the disease. Discomfort during the disease is just an indication. Like in case of pleasure, here the pain also is an indication that there is a toxin accumulation and restriction to the natural movement. And causal inquiry, where I am depleting myself, which is blocking my energy to reduce the elimination. That inquiry has to be done to begin this process of natural movement. Instant relief is not the cure. So far, as Rohit was sharing, that going 20 kilometers, driving 20 kilometers to treat fever. Treating fever means what he meant is instant relief from fever. Instant relief cannot be claimed as cure. No treatment of symptom, yet the observation of symptom and whatever is coming as an output, as a voice of the organism, supporting that. Like for an example, in fever, the tastelessness to be supported with fasting with water. Because that is the voice of the organism. Organism is indicating that I am working internally. So just hold for some time for food. Let me resume it after I recover. So this kind of. So appreciation or hatred both block awareness. This in case of conspiracy identification and all. We already discussed that conspiracies are basically confusions within. Natural physical experience is the ultimate source of sensation, which we can identify through inquiry and drive the life as much as possible naturally. So we talked about 3 traps. One was innervation to toxemia, the traps, vicious cycle. Another was idea to emotion, and another in the mind formation, mind to body. When there is a body sensation from mind, there is a vicious cycle. Idea to emotion already. So here is a pattern that we see. The first things, innervation, idea, and mind are formless. So there is a pattern of converting formless into form and creating a vicious cycle out of it. So let the formless gets converted into form by itself somewhere. Let's not initiate that conversion. What to focus now? Yeah, Shankar, you want to say something?
Yeah, the last slide,
Previous slide?
second and third seems to be the same.
Same, yes, yes. Same. It's a different terminologies to understand the rationality separately and the formation of mind separately. Yes.
Thank you.
So what to focus now? As an individual, what to focus now? We can end up criticizing medical confusion, criticizing conspiracies, and going to have a revolution. Trying to get some more vitality from outside, here from this food or that modification and all. Or efficient management or conservation of available vitality. Whatever is available, if I can efficiently manage that, how about that? Then we become the actual independent. The freedom is not about choosing anything, but to free from our intentional choices. The meaning of freedom we need to understand at the deeper level, that freedom is not choosing anything that you want, but freedom is freedom from my intentional choices and go for tendency-based choices, which emerges in the path of natural movement. So conscious reversal, we use this acronym CCV, curious, conscious, consistent conservation of vitality. This is the proposal of bringing back and maintaining the homeostasis. Well, the last slide, obviously, about our commercial model. We would like to re-emphasize, it is available on our registration page also, but we would like to re-emphasize that this workshop was not free, because we don't deny the importance of money. Money is important, but not the primary, obviously. So money is an invention by mankind, ideated invention, but it has got a liquidity to meet our requirements. So that is identified well. So it is not a free workshop, but it was not priced also. not pricing actually relieves us from two things. One is we don't want to block anyone. And second is not to underestimate our own work. Whatever the price we'll put, we may block few people to join in. And whatever the price we may put, we may start thinking that it is a lower price we have put. So we did not take that risk. And finally, we assure that we don't question any decision of putting a price, and we don't give any hint that how much they evaluated, so that how much he evaluated, she evaluated. These kind of hint will not be able to give. And it's your personal evaluation, and we would honor that and will not question, because we value the long-term relationships more than the valuation in terms of the money that we'll do. So we'll share the payment link in the group for your evaluation after the workshop. Now over to the forum for Q&A and a little bit of chit chatting. I'll just end this screen share. If needed, I'll relaunch it, but let's go in the gallery mode to look at each other's. Those who are having video feasibility can switch on the video, please. Yeah. Right. Shankar is outside. Great. Meghna is also sitting outside, it seems.
Yes, sir. I'm sitting in my garden.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Dr. Kaur, Binal are also outside. Yes.
I have a naughty question.
Yes, yes. Yes, sir.
It's
Naughty
not.
question.
It's not with knots. Naughty means something else. I value you. Who is valuing whom?
We
If I-
mutually. We mutually.
So effectively, if I what do you call it? Go for this. What was that expansion?
Mhm.
If I put myself in your shoe and think that we both are same, nobody is valuing anybody, but all are valuing each other.
Mhm. Yes, yes, yes.
So this very thing seems to be a rather a family matter now.
Yes, 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 yes. I agree. I agree on this point. So we end up valuing each other ultimately, because this path of inquiry is not about one individual, can not ever about the one individual, but what matters is the individual sensation for one's own homeostasis. Yeah.
So there is some background noise from my end. So I would just like to put the questions first,
Yes, yes, ma'am.
and then I'll mute myself. My first
Mhm.
question again is the same. The difference between mindfulness and meditation is the first question,
Mhm.
and the difference between consistency and self-discipline.
Yes, 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 yes. Very deep question, the second one. The first question we touched upon, but we'd like to raise the question that what do you mean by meditation, ma'am? What do
Yes,
you
sir.
mean by meditation?
Meditation is state of thoughtlessness. That is
Yeah.
a very, very common definition which everyone gives.
Yes,
But I think meditation is a part of mindfulness.
yes.
It is a part.
These
It is
are
one part of mindfulness.
these are synonymous. These two are synonymous. So I just wanted to confirm whether you are terming meditation as a specific practice or not. If not, then meditation is life and mindfulness is the meditation. If we can mindfulness,
Wow,
then we are actually meditating all the time.
that is so beautiful.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
It is very beautiful.
And the
Okay, so
second question, can you
second
repeat?
question is a difference between consistency and self-discipline.
Yeah. So, what do you mean by self-discipline? Again, another question,
Um,
counter question.
I think self-discipline is something which is very, very important, but I don't have a definition for it. But I think self-discipline is extremely important if we want to balance our lives and be successful in
So
life.
let me rephrase the question. Do you mean the self-discipline means imposition of a list of action to self without explanation?
Partly,
If it is so, then it will deplete the energy, because without explanation, without rationals, without inquiry, if we impose anything, a list of action, those will become an imposition and will deplete us because of lot of imposed belief, as we discussed repeatedly, the ideated
okay,
beliefs. Yeah. But definitely, if you
And
identify some facts and want to be consistent in this path of identification of the fact, then outsider, a bystander may identify that you are very much self-disciplined, but internally you are not imposing anything on yourself. You are just inquiring and going in the path of the inquiry.
okay.
what is that called, sir? Regimentation?
Voluntary regimentation, it may be called sometime, that you choose to continue doing something for some time, to bring a change and these kind of things. But in the path of inquiry, this is, yeah, Taran is leaving. Sorry, low battery. Okay, Taran, see you some other time and in the inquiry session. So that could be a voluntary regimentation with rationals. Voluntary regimentation means understanding the rationals and bringing a change for some time. That could be opted sometime.
And what is consistency?
Yeah, consistency means it's continued inquiry. If with the rational understanding, if we would like to understand consistency, if you are consistent in your inquiry, in your inquiring process, that means you are always inquiring, which is our neural capability, which is our innate neural capability. We are just supporting that natural capability. That is what is the consistency. Consistency is
Okay.
not about repeating a same work number of times. It is not the consistency.
Okay.
Can we say is that to be an automatic thing? It happens.
Yeah, it happens naturally. So, all right, anyone?
What
Kaushik?
if-
Yeah.
Sorry. What if somebody has built this belief, say, for example, that exercising is really going to do good to me, and every day he gets on to exercise with a lot of conviction and excitement, and it seems to do good to the person. Is that going to be innovating?
Yeah. So now the question comes, when he doesn't exercise, what is the state of being? What is the inward processing of that individual? If he feels bad not exercising, then it is a trap. It is a trap he has opted through some ideated sensation, ideated belief. Otherwise, exercising casually, like moving, exercising, the objective, the rational objective is to bring natural movement within the body, within the circulation. So if that rationale is there, then one may opt to exercise, end up exercising daily per se. But if he is obsessive or not about it, that to find out, stop exercising for some time and check whether the trap is there or not. Yeah, Kaushik. Any
Yes, sir.
response?
Yeah,
We have some few minutes. Yeah.
Yes. I just like to say that like today's session especially was very helpful. I mean, it helped me understand, like, it helped me put into perspective lots of things, like obsession, and so especially that reverse cycle that you showed, like from mind, from ideas to
Emotion.
physiology to actions. So
Yeah.
that helped me understand a lot of things, like which actually impact us very insidiously, and we don't realize. So yeah, thank you so much. That's all I
Hope
like to say.
to stay connected so
yeah,
that
sure,
we can inquire together further. Yeah.
yeah, sure, yeah. I need to reprocess everything that I've learned. So yeah,
Right.
thank you. Yeah.
Carolyn, how was the revisit? Could you find something extra, something added? You're mute.
Apologies, I'm tired.
Yeah, I understand. It's late. It's late for you.
The,
Yeah.
the revisit was really valuable. So I would recommend, if people are finding it difficult, to just consolidate everything, to consider revisiting when it suits them. Definitely.
Yeah.
You
For the
know,
new people,
yeah.
this is
Yeah.
definitely, yeah, because at time it's
And-
heavier. Yeah.
Yes, and I also think so. Even obviously, the group dynamics were different to the group that I participated in April as well. So that means your delivery is slightly different. So you actually, because you're just going with the flow and as you're promoting, and so actually there were different facets that came up with different questions with the participants in the group, which was just helpful for me. So it was, even though it's the same course, it was different. So thank you, to the participants and yourself. Thank you.
Yeah. Right, guys. So we have few seconds left. So see you again.
Thank you.
Right. We'll
Thank you so
share the
much.
inquiry.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah. Bye, Nandini.
Bye-bye.
Taran. Yeah. Bye.
See you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I should add that it was lucid
Lucid
to
flow.
compared to earlier
Yeah.
your workshop.
Thank
Thank you
you
for that.
Thank you, Shankar.
Thank you.